So a couple of days ago, I thought I'd get back on Resident Evil Reverse and see if the game is still played, and I was actually shocked to get some matches fairly quickly and still have a mix of like clearly people who have played it for a while and brand new players as well. And I kind of want to go over where the game kind of fell off for me personally. Like I enjoyed it for a while, but then it really started to get a bit stale, and I kind of want to go over why that is, but also kind of still sort of give it praise because it is still somewhat enjoyable. But yeah, let's just get into it. So straight out the gate, the game was met with mixed reception. People are not fans of PvP in RE games, which does make sense. It's not really a PvP type of series, but it is still there. You've got the versus modes in 5 and 6. You've got Resident Evil Resistance, Umbrella Corps, and of course Resident Evil Reverse, which was packaged with the Resident Evil Village, which was a massively selling game. So of course a lot of people had access to this game. It did get delayed massively. It didn't really come out until a year later when the main DLC for Village dropped. And again, when it launched, it was met with a mixed reception. I think some of the main issues the game had at launch was the peer-to-peer connection, which was not a good idea. Basically what that is a single person of the lobby hosts the whole lobby, and if their connection is crap, everyone else lags, but they're basically fine, and it really does imbalance the game a little bit. Content when the game came out wasn't massive. There was only like 5 or 6 characters and 2 maps. They did add another map later on, they did add a bunch more characters, but the characters they did add were basically like reskins because they were part of Chris's team, and the only difference being they had different abilities really. Not a massive issue because they did play differently, but in terms of visually, they did look pretty much the same. But I think the big complaint was there were so many more iconic characters they could have added, but they decided to add like the default Call of Duty team, it was called, to the game instead, which is, you know, a bit of a kind of letdown for most people. Cool positive notes though, it was fun to jump on and play every now and again, just for a little bit. It is not to be taken too seriously, it's not like a sweat game. The only thing that makes it sweaty is you're constantly ranked, which basically means the more you play, the better you play, the better the players you get put against are, and that can be a bit frustrating, especially if you're just trying to relax and play. There's no like casual playlist, it's always ranked. Sometimes it can throw you in with any ranked player if the queues take too long, but for the most part, especially at launch, you were getting lobbies fairly quickly, so they're all kind of matched around your skill. And then another big thing, which I didn't really consider a massive issue, was there was a slight, I think the term is play to win advantage, where basically what they did was over the course of the post-launch updates, they would have these coins in the game, and eventually they would add updates where you could upgrade them using coins you earned from playing. And obviously that would mean that certain coins that boosted your weapon damage would get upgraded, and then the weapon would do more damage. So you would pretty much outgun a newer player pretty much every single time, regardless of if you were playing the same character. Like you would always win because you were always doing more damage. It wasn't an issue because you literally just played the game to get that stuff. There was no way to just kind of get them quicker. But yeah, it was a bit of a problem for some people. But it wasn't all kind of negative. I think some positives that came from the game was there was a battle pass, but it was purely cosmetic and it added a bunch of cool stuff. It added like classic skins for some of the iconic heroes. It added kind of cool cosmetics and charms and stuff like that, and it all looked pretty cool. In terms of the initial launch, there was a roadmap out, so we did know when stuff was coming, although it was only really like one map, and then again just the Wolfhound team, and I think the Lycan was added later on as a tier 1 bioweapon. Well, we didn't get a lot of content for the game. They still kind of gradually added it quite consistently for the first few months, but I think now it has definitely died down. Whether they're doing more for it, I don't know. I honestly partly expected some stuff to come out around the time of Resident Evil 4 Remake's launch with like a village map or the RE4 skin for Leon, which still isn't in this game, or even like Dr. Salvador as like a tier 2 bioweapon or something like that, but it just didn't happen. It could still happen, but I do not know. But we'll have to wait and see. But you know, it's a shame because the game was kind of fun at first. It was definitely imbalanced and it did have its issues, but it was still enjoyable to play for like an hour or two if you had some spare time. But yeah, it is a shame. One thing that would help this game massively was just to give it like a PvE mode or something like that. I think people would have really appreciated that, but it is just a free-for-all PvP mode, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. I do think I will make some content on this game still. I haven't played some of the characters. I haven't really kind of tested some of the newer coins they added and upgraded coins and stuff like that. I don't want to do loads of it because it's kind of, again, it's a game you're kind of playing small bursts, so I don't want to spam loads of videos out about it. But yeah, let me know if you guys are still playing it. Let me know if you guys still enjoy it or didn't at all in the first place. I know some of you weren't a big fan of the game when it first launched, but if anyone else still plays the game, do let me know. But yeah, thank you all for coming by, and I'll catch you in the next one.